Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gary Sly and the Legacy of Handmade Objects. It is actually Tuesday, January the 7th. I apologize, I didn't get my videos out on Monday yesterday like I usually do. We had workmen here in the new space and they were banging around, and since I wanted to do a quick little tour of the new space, I felt like it'd be better to wait today. So I'm going to take a quick little pause here and reverse the camera so you're not staring at me, and we'll take a look and see what's happening here in the new space. I've been here about 2 weeks, and I'm finally feeling like, at least for now, that things are kind of where I want them. I'm always moving things around, so I'm sure it'll change, but this will give you an idea of what things are looking like. So I'll be back with you in just a few moments. All right, I'm back. I'm starting in the very back of the building today. If you haven't seen my earlier videos, you'll remember that this is an old Victorian craftsman building that was built in 1900. And I'm in the very far back of the original house, which I'm told from some folks that used to come here was a bedroom. This is probably my favorite room in the whole place because of all these wonderful windows back here. What I have back here is a lot of stitchable cross-stitch things like bibs and towels. Some of my vintage patterns are back here. There's my wonderful old Harrisville loom in the corner, which is going to be for sale soon if you're interested in looking for a loom. And then you see some cross-stitch frames and things like that to use. So this room is more cross-stitch than anything else. This table has vintage kits. I do have a bunch more new kind of cross-stitch stuff that's going to come down and enter this room, so it'll probably get even a little busier. Look at that wonderful little peg loom over there in the corner that I'm going to do a rug on. This closet has tons of stamped cross-stitch, which is a little harder to find. So if this is something you're interested in, I've got a really good collection of that. You can come take a peek. Room number 2 is going to be more in the way of yarns and weaving supplies. Got my grandmother's old chest there and lots of beautiful quilts. A couple of antique crazy quilts there that for those of you who know much about that will enjoy. Different kinds of stuff here. I've got some plastic canvas ware. I've got some needle point. I've got crewel embroidery back here. Don't quite have this corner filled, but this is going to have a bunch of beautiful new yarns, so I'll come back and do a special edition of that sometime. And then there's some of the specialty yarns that I already have in the shop. Anita's wonderful stuff with tatting and lavender buds. And then back on the back of the table there, you can see a lot of weaving supplies. I have colonial Persian Patternayan wools for the needle pointers. And there's a bunch of my discount yarns at $6 a pound. So you can see I've got a scattering of things pretty much everywhere, but just wanted to kind of give you a sense that the place is open and that there's a lot happening here now. This room has lots of needlepoint and cross-stitch fabric. I just love the colors. Back here, there's my Weeks Dye Works. That display is about to go up on the wall. I do have a really good selection of cross-stitch fabric. All kinds of hoops. There's my DMC. Mary Kay Breitenbach has aprons and bag holders, plastic bag holders, more fabric. Of course, it's always a treat to look at Everett Israel's woodcraft and see what he's got happening here. Everett's recently gotten a little more involved in putting wood and acrylic together, so there's some fun things happening there. Really, as in my old shop, just a smattering of all sorts of things here. The Tatrees embroidery, which I did a whole episode on from Palestine. More unusual kind of fabrics and things going on there. My front room, of course, will double both as excuse me, exhibition space and also for events and things like that. So you can see I've got my great old cross stitch up on the mantle there finally. Beth's in here doing some arranging, so Beth, just kind of wave at people. So
hello.
Beth is a knitting and crochet instructor and runs a group here on Tuesdays and sometimes on Saturdays by appointment. She's putting out some new product that she's been working on. Over in that other corner is Susan Cosette's hand-dyed, hand-spun items. This is just a great room, and one of my partners in this endeavor is going to be having fancy teas and special events in this room. So we look forward to it being a kind of a mixed use space. My vestibule or entryway area here features my great old hand-painted counter from the old shop. These are the newest designers. Everything here is stuff that I've acquired since last year's trip to Nashville, which is coming up again soon. All sorts of notions and needles, handmade cards. Some of the local authors have books here, and of course I do custom framing, so I've got a setup for that here so that people can see that that's something that's important for me. I hope that this is the kind of place people love to just kind of come in and browse around a little bit, even if you happen not to be somebody who does handwork. There's an awful lot of nice finished stuff here as well. I've begun to fill the walls up with all kinds of old stitched items and framed pieces. Really just kind of little odds and ends here a little bit everywhere. I've scaled down my book collection quite a bit, but I did keep some of those, and those are really good discounts. Most of the books are $2. And then here's a few more up-to-date kits. Got lots of Mill Hill stuff here. Those are authentic Navajo woven rugs or tapestries from out in New Mexico. This was the side porch of the original old home, but it's a lovely space now, and I've enjoyed having shelves for a change that I can use to put things on. Got knitting and crochet articles there. Always got to have my Krynic threads. I have a pretty good collection of older patterns from Nora Corbett. Also have Lavender and Lace, Butternut Road, Once Told in a Garden. A few needlepoint canvases, some plastic canvas below, and then this is sort of the weaving spinning corner. I've got two beautiful spinning wheels here, a warping reel, there's a desktop loom, and then I've got this wonderful floor loom for sale. There's going to be a separate advertisement and perhaps even a separate YouTube issue to talk about some of the looms that I have for sale. And I'm never ashamed to show the messy places. This final area down here is where my framing is going to take place. So it's still a work in progress, but I've got some frames that I need to be working on right away, so I got to get going on that. I've always loved old homes. I've always loved the atmosphere and the feel of them, the history that's involved. As I said, this old place was built in 1900, and it has retained a whole lot of the features from that time. Those old sconces, I feel like, were probably here originally. Not all the lights are original, but they look to be at least period if they weren't here to begin with. I think that lends a lot to the atmosphere. It makes you kind of feel like you've entered a special place when you get here. So I'm open for business. I've got a lot happening still as I kind of continue to refine the space and make sure things are as easy to get to as possible. But I hope you'll come join me. My new location is at 1012 West Main Street in Leesburg, Florida. Of course, I know many of you are not here in Florida, but maybe if you come down this way sometime, you can come by and take a look at the space and see what you think. That's it. That's just a quick little tour of where we are now, and I'll kind of keep you up to date on things as we move along. I hope wherever you are, it's a little bit warm, at least inside. It's actually pretty cold here in Florida today, but I know much of the United States is having some really awful weather this week, so I wish the best for you. As always, this is Gary Sly, and it's the Legacy of Handmade Objects.